Hello, what is up guys? Eman from Peso Smart Page here. Welcome sa panibagong episode. Shout out to all the podcast listeners as well. I appreciate you all. Today, let's talk about Dermacare or yung Beyond Skincare Ventures investment scam and yung involvement ni Neri Naig dito sa scam na to. Couple of days ago, merong mga posts and videos na nagsasabi na naaresto daw si Neri Naig. Si Neri Naig is yung asawa ni Chito Miranda, and si Chito Miranda is yung vocalist or frontman ng OPM band na Parokya ni Edgar. So apparently, yung case niya is syndicated estafa, which means na nangongolekta itong quote-unquote business na ito ng investments, ng capital, ng pera sa mga tao. And essentially, they are promising unrealistic gains for a specific period of time. So based on sa mga nabasa ko, around, what was that, like 4-5% every quarter. I'm not sure, pero pupuntahan natin yun later. And in a span of 5 years, around 50% yung kikitain ng pera mo. So of course, making attractive yon sa mga newbie investors. And yung spiel kasi nila is magko-franchise ka daw dun sa kanilang business, which is yung Dermacare. So ito, tingnan natin yung post ni Chito Miranda. So sabi niya sa Instagram to, praying na ma-sort out na ang lahat ng ito, kawawa naman yung asawa ko. Never nanloko si Neri at never siya nanlamang sa kapwa. Never siyang kumuha or nang hingi ng pera kahit kanino man. Alam ng lahat yan. Tulong lang siya ng tulong hanggat kaya niya. Minsan kahit di na nakakabuti sa kanya. Kadalasan nga na abuso na siya, pero hinahayaan niya lang basta wala siyang ginagawang masama. Pinapasa Diyos niya na lang. Tulad ngayon, endorser lang siya tapos ginamit yung face niya to get investors. Kinasuhan siya ng mga nabiktima. Tapos last week, bigla na lang siyang inaresto for the same case kahit hindi pa siya binigyan ng notice na may bagong criminal complaint pa pala laban sa kanya. And di niya ma-defend yung sarili niya. Wala siyang na-receive na letter from prosecutor, walang sabina, walang kahit anong notice. Yung mga dati na-receive namin naman niya at nag-comply siya. Alam naman ng lahat na madali kami mahanap sa Alfonso. And then, continue natin. Anyway, dinampot na lang siya. Na-dismiss na yung mga similar na kaso sa ibang lugar. And we're praying na sana ma-dismiss na din ito. Wala siyang kinuhang pera sa ibang tao. Lahat ng pera nila kay Chanda, ang may-ari ng Dermacare. Sobrang bait po ni Neri, as in sobra. Ito yung babaeng kinulong ninyo without bail habang nakalaya pa yung mga tunay na may kasalanan. So, I mean, of course, I understand yung point of view and yung sentiment ni Chito kasi asawa niya to. He has to defend his wife. Although, on the flip side, there's a little bit of sympathy baiting or sad fishing in my opinion. So, hindi mo naman kailangang ipakita itong mga nasa post niya kasi kung titingnan nyo, maraming pictures dito sa post ni Chito na pinapakita na tumutulong siya, no? For example, probably nagvo-volunteer itong si Neri to help other people. And wala naman nagde-deny nun, I think. However, kahit pa sobrang dami mong ginawang like tama or mabuti, hindi maging excuse to para sa, for example, quote-unquote ignorance of the law. So, you have to face yung consequences ng mga actions mo. So, punta ulit tayo dito. So, ito, highlight natin itong comment ni Kiko Pangilinan. So, sabi niya, narito kami handang tumulong, Chito. Ang product endorser ay isang talent at hindi dapat nananagot sa illegal na gawain ng may-ari at management ng isang korporasyon. Biktima rin si Neri tulad ng ibang nabiktima ng mga estafador sa likod ng kumpanya. Habulin dapat yung mga may-ari Naway madismiss o maibalik ang kaso sa piskalya para sa preliminary investigation at malift o makwash ang arrest warrant. So itong sinabi ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan, argument to or contradictory dun sa statement or sa advisory ng SEC. Tingnan natin yun. So ito yung SEC advisory for Dermacare Beyond Skincare Solutions, Beyond Skincare Solutions. So yun yung mga pangalan nila. So they are actually registered sa SEC. However, wala silang secondary license. Yung secondary license na yun yung kailangan mo if you're enticing or you're offering a security or an investment opportunity sa public. Wala silang ganon. So eventually, it was determined na scam pala itong scheme ng Beyond Skincare or ng Dermacare. So yung mga pera, kinukuha lang. So Ponzi scheme siya essentially. So yung mga investors, yung mga early investors, probably nakakuha pa sila ng dividends or naibalik yung pera nila. However, kapag ka nag-stop na, pumasok yung mga new investors, then wala na, hindi na iikot yung pera sa Ponzi scheme. So, ganun lang naman yung nag-work. So, ito pala, 12.6% interest every quarter for a period of 5 years. That is crazy. Actually, 50% pala yung interest in a year. So, in 5 years, 250% yung makukuha nyo. Red flag na agad yun. Huwag kayo maniniwala sa ganito kalaki. Natalo mo pa sa isang quarter yung S&P 500 or any other asset. Probably siguro yung kaya lang tumapat dito mga crypto coins na bago. For example, Bitcoin, hindi naman ganito yung nire-return ng Bitcoin every quarter kasi hindi mo naman alam. And yung palatandaan palagi dito, lagi ko naman sinasabi sa inyo, na pag sinabing fixed yung interest or yung income, red flag na agad yun. Although, syempre, pwede nating sabihin na fixed yung interest, for example, sa mga digital banks. Pero digital bank yun. And sabihin natin, fix yung interest sa mga preferred shares. Yes, kapag nakakuha ka dun sa IPO price. For example, SMC. Yung mga preferred stocks nila, usually, 75 pesos yung intro price or yung IPO price. Pero syempre, tumataas yun kasi kalimitan, 7 to 8% yung binibigay na dividends nun or dividend yield or interest. So, bababa yun kapag publicly traded na yung mga preferred stocks na yun. So, sabihin natin, nag-80, syempre, bababa yung dividend yield mo. So, hindi mo talaga masasabi na laging fixed yung income. Kasi kahit sa stocks, possible na mag-cut ng dividends. For example, common stock yung binili mo. Possible na mag-cut ng dividends yung isang company. Kasi, for example, nagkaroon sila ng bad quarter, nagkaroon sila ng bad year. So, bumaba ng konti yung revenue, yung net income. So, wala silang pagkukuha ng dividends na i-distribute sa mga stockholders. So, again, red flag kapag ganitong mataas yung binibigay na interest. And kapag sure sila na may ibibigay yun sa inyo. Like, Ponzi scheme na yun basically. So, ito yung mga documents. And ito, yung sinasabi kong contradictory dun sa statement ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Those who act as salesmen, brokers, dealers, or agents, representatives, promoters, recruiters, uplines, influencers, endorsers, abettors, and enablers of Dermacare Beyond Skincare Solutions or Beyond Care Skin, nabubul na ako, or Beyond Skincare Solutions, Beyond Skincare Ventures Incorporated, in soliciting or convincing people to invest in the investment scheme being offered by the said entity, including soliciting investments or recruiting investors through the internet, may be held criminally liable under Section 11 of the FCPA and Section 28 of the SRC, and both penalized separately with a maximum fine of 5 million pesos or imprisonment of 21 years, or both pursuant to Section 73 of the SRC. So yung naka-outline dito, SEC versus Odin Santos, GR number 195542 of March 19, 2014. So may reference dito nung kaso kung saan I believe naka-base yung law na ito or yung rule na ito. So makita natin dito na influencer si Neri Naig, endorser din siya. So probably we can say na a better and enabler din siya. Or probably promoter, recruiter. So lahat parang dito na-check yung box. Kung ano ba yung classification ni Neri Naig. But sinasabi ni Chito na endorser lang siya. Pero different kasi yun eh. For example, kung ina-endorse lang niya yung services ng Dermacare, then probably she's not guilty dito sa syndicated estafa. But I don't really know much about like the law. So I'm not a lawyer. But ito, kumbaga hinihimay lang natin yung mga nakikita natin, yung mga facts, current facts no, na available sa atin and available for the consumption of the public. And tingnan natin dito. So, nag-explain dito yung SEC. Yung director nila, si Philbert Catalino Flores III. Siya ay naghihikayat ng mga investments dun sa Beyond Skincare. So, nilagay lang nila dito na mayroong franchise partner agreements and maganda sinabi niya dito sa babae. So in the interview, Flores said that under the Securities Regulation Code, companies involved in the buying and selling of securities and investment contracts must be registered with the SEC. And sabi nung director, kaya ang SEC nire-require bukod sa secondary license ng kumpanya, tapos yung mismong securities nila nakarehistro, pati yung nagbebenta kailangan nakarehistro sa amin. Ang kapalit kasi ng pera ng publiko ay kapirasong papel, shares of stock, bonds, contracts of investment. Kaya nire-require ng SEC na yung kapirasong papel na yan, pruweba ng investment mo ay nakarehistro kasi kailangan na sigurado kayo na yung kapirasong papel na yan ay may value. So tama naman. And eto, yan. So kaya nagre-require yung SEC ng secondary license from companies that want to sell investments to the public para masigurado na legit yung company na yun, bukod sa mismong registration or certificate of incorporation from the SEC. Kailangan nila ng secondary license na they are allowed and they are licensed to sell securities or investments sa public. So, wala yung Dermacare niyan. And then, I saw this online. So, hindi naman service ng Dermacare yung pinopromote ni Neri Naig dito. So, kita niyo naman, nababasa niyo, Dermacare franchise has never been this affordable. So, ang pinopromote niya is yung franchising business or franchising opportunity ng ibang tao dito sa Dermacare. So, dating 1.2 million, sinasabi dito 850,000 na lang. And I'm not sure of the specifics kasi hindi ko rin man binasa lahat ng documents about Dermacare and like their franchising agreement. Ano ba yung ROI? But probably it's super fast and unrealistic nga. And based dun sa advisory ng SEC, 12.6% yung return every quarter. That's unrealistic sa ganitong klaseng investment. So usually, for example, yung mga franchise, ma-recover mo yung initial investment mo, yung mag-ROI ka probably 3 to 5 years. Yun yung average. And kung ganitong sobrang laki, like 250% in 5 years, like that's almost triple of your investment. And again, unrealistic yun, red flag agad yun. And then, actually, this is similar dun sa issue dati, scam issue ng Flex Fuel. Kay Luis Manzano naman to. So, magagawin lang natin tong reference. Ang kaibahan lang, itong si Luis Manzano, dun sa isang commercial na ginawa niya, sinabi niya, siya yung chairman and owner ng Flex Fuel. But, ang sabi, he was cleared of all wrongdoings para dito sa Flex Fuel scam or Ponzi scheme. And yeah, hindi siya nakulong or hindi siya, I'm not sure kung na-fine siya, but bottom line, at the end of the day, hindi siya naparusahan. Again, probably this is because he's a public figure and may connections since anak siya ni Vilma Santos and yung asawa ni Vilma Santos is dating senator, si Ralph Recto, so probably that's why he's still free. But if this is like an ordinary Filipino or citizen, then probably yun, nasa kulungan siya ngayon. But yeah. So panoorin natin actually yung video niya. Ito malinaw dito yung sinabi.
Hello mga ka-Flex, Luis Manzano po ang chairman and owner ng Flex Fuel Petroleum Corporation. Nandito tayo ngayon.
So yun lang naman yung gusto ko ipakita sa inyo actually. Sinabi niya, malinaw doon na siya yung chairman and owner ng Flex Fuel. But apparently, na-clear lahat nung, kaso sa kanya and he was cleared of all wrongdoing. So, again, let's move on na lang dito sa issue ngayon kay Neri. So, ito makita nyo na nagpo-post siya palagi about Dermacare. So, this was back in July 19, 2021. So, dalawang negosyo ang bubuksan natin this month. So, yung pangalawa is Dermacare Serin Tagaytay and TikTok Tagaytay. So, yun yung dalawang business na bubuksan niya. So, apparently, kung di siya owner ng Dermacare, probably nag-invest din siya dito and meron lang ka-tie up na endorsement, no? Para mas marami pang mag-invest and mag-franchise nitong Dermacare na to. And then, ayan, my Tuesday morning, July 27 to 2021. Asa na yung Dermacare? So, tatapusin na lahat to bago mag 9 AM at need kong umikot at sa bubuksan naming Dermacare Clinic sa Serin Tagaytay. So, again, that's another crumb dito sa issue na to. And ito, pinost pa actually nung July 30, 2021 ni Chito Miranda. Kino-congratulate niya si Neri dahil nakapagbuka siya ng bagong business, yung Dermacare Serin Tagaytay. And there's another picture. So yan, Dermacare Face Body Laser Center. And then, nung November 11, 2021, I'm not sure kung siya rin yung owner nitong Dermacare Cebu, but pinopost niya to sa social media niya, particularly sa Facebook. So, 50% off all services coming sa Dermacare Cebu branch today. Kasi soft opening nila. And then, ito, nagbibigay pa sila ng mga like promos or perks sa followers ng Dermacare Cebu branch. And then, another one, Mother's Day na pala this Sunday. Okay pa ba ang mga hair natin dyan, mga mommies? Kailan ba kayo huling nagpa-salon? May budget ba kayo ngayong Mother's Day para pampa-beauty? So, nasan yung Dermacare dito? So, ito, bagong branch na ulit. Gusto nyo ba ng free haircut, handog ng extraordinary salon at free skincare consultation from Dermacare Ayala Malls Serin Tagaytay? Oh, actually, same lang pala. Akala ko yung Ayala Malls dito sa what they call this, yung malapit sa MOA, Ayala Malls Manila Bay, but sa Serin Tagaytay pa rin pala yun. So, it's just the same thing. And then, noong September 1, 2023, ito na, meron siyang statement or post sa Facebook. Hello friends and valued followers, I would like to take this opportunity to inform you all that I am no longer affiliated or associated with Dermacare. It is important for me to make this announcement to ensure transparency and avoid any misunderstanding. So, kumaga, hugas kamay na dito. Kasi I believe this was the time na na-expose na yung Ponzi scheme, itong scam ng Dermacare. I want to emphasize that any transactions or engagements made under my name by Dermacare are unauthorized and have been conducted without my consent. If you come across any instances where my name is being used in connection with Dermacare, I kindly request you to inform me promptly. But, ang dami niyang post before. So, I'm not sure where this is coming from. So, medyo malabo, no? I appreciate your understanding and ongoing support. Should you have any questions or concerns regarding this matter, please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly. Your trust and loyalty mean a lot to me. So, yun. hindi naman niya ine-endorse yung mismong services again ng Dermacare. Kasi yun yung kumbaga definition ng pagiging endorser, no? In-endorse mo sa followers mo, sa fans mo, yung services na ino-offer ng isang business. But in this instance, ang ino-endorse niya actually is yung franchising business nitong Dermacare. So, again, medyo malabo. And of course, she has to defend herself. That's why ganito yung post niya. But if i-review ito, like for example, ng mga lawyers and ng for example, ng court, I'm not sure if talagang walang kasalanan dito si Neri. Kasi she probably knew kung ano yung pinapasok niya. Kasi bago pumasok sa isang investment opportunity or bago mag-franchise ng isang business, kailangan mong gawin yung due diligence mo. Pag di mo yung ginawa, I mean, yung consequences, dahil lang ignorant ka o hindi mo ginawa yung due diligence mo, hindi ka may excuse dun sa mga consequences. Kasi ikaw yung nag-decide to promote this business. Promote yung franchising part nitong business na to. So hindi mo inaral kumbaga, and you just jumped in probably because of the money, because of the monetary, what you call this, because of the monetary benefit that this will give you. Easy money to di ba? So kaya for me personally, may mga nagre-reach out, especially before nung lagi ako nagko-content sa TikTok, na may reach out to like partner, mag-endorse ng ganitong crypto coin na I know na shitcoin naman. That's why until now, I've never taken any like sponsorship money. Kasi wala pa akong nakikita na naka-align nung gusto kong gawin. Which is essentially just to share my experiences investing, saving, anything, related to personal finance. So lahat ng mga nakita ko, like easy money siya. Yeah, isang video $250, isang video $1,000, di ba? Like pag minsan I have to control myself. Worth it ba to? Worth it ba tong kunin? Worth it bang i-grab itong opportunity na to? But in the end, madadamage yung reputation ko, and like possible na makulong ako. So hindi worth it yon. So again, dapat you have to do your own due diligence, do your own research before investing any kind of money sa kahit anong investing opportunity. Sa kahit anong napapanood nyo dito sa YouTube, pag sinabi sa'yo, mag-invest dito sa preferred stock na to, mag-invest ka sa S&P 500. So, dapat always take it with a grain of salt. Kasi iba-iba tayo ng, for example, financial capacity to invest. Iba-iba tayo ng priorities. And iba-iba yung, like for example, yung amount ng active income na nakukuha natin every month. So, kailangan pumili ka ng isang investment na tama sa'yo and alam mo na legitimate and alam mo na maganda yung magiging upside para sa'yo. And depende rin yan sa risk tolerance mo. But ang daming naentay sa mga ganitong klaseng scams kasi nga nakikita nila na easy money lang yun. But kapag may mga ganitong klaseng opportunity na ang bilis ng ROI, most probably scam yun. And always check for red flags. Alam na naman natin itong formula ng mga Ponzi schemes, nitong mga scams. So dapat madali na nating na-identify ito. Then ito, merong letter si Chanda Atienza. Ito yung may-ari or CEO or COO ng Dermacare. So sinabi lang niya dito na wala talaga involvement or essentially walang kasalanan itong si Neri dito sa nangyayari sa Dermacare. So yung unang sentence sa first paragraph, I want to begin by expressing my sincere apology on the current issues that Dermacare is going through right now, to which you are not supposedly to be part of. So supposedly. So again, we're not sure of the specifics kung ano ba talaga yung role ni Neri dito sa Dermacare scam na to. So we're not sure kung part owner ba siya, kung isa siya sa mga na-scam na investors na nag-franchise itong Dermacare. And again, meron lang ka-tie up na endorsement or sponsorship deal. So again, wala pa yun, hindi pa yun available publicly. So we just have to wait and see kung ano ba yung mga ipe-present na evidence against her. So probably meron na. Although syempre hindi pa yun available to the public, or I'm not sure if making available yun for public consumption, but merong basis sa pag-aresto sa kanya. And imposible yun namang like wala. Like, hindi, natripa namin. Ito yung nag-endorse nung scam na to. So, siya na lang yung huli namin or arestohin namin. Kasi hindi namin makita yung mga founders, yung mga mastermind. So, I don't think that makes sense. And then ito, sa Reddit, 2 years ago, may mga nagtatanong sa subreddit ng PH Invest or Philippine Invest about Dermacare. So, franchise partnership. Hello. Anyone here who had invested in Dermacare? I saw one of their ads in Facebook and is interested in investing. I thought it was regular franchising where I will be operating my own franchise, but that's not the case. Red flag. Apparently, they just need me to invest and there's a fixed income in the 5-year period while my money is locked in with them. And the money I invested will be returned at the end of the contract. Any advice on how to properly analyze this type of investment? What questions should I ask so I can decide properly? Thank you. So ito, may nag-comment dito na nag-invest sila sa Dermacare noong 2019. Nabalik naman daw yung capital nila. Pero yung promise na return of investment at the end is not true in their case. And sabi niya, lagi nila kami pinapaasa and yung mga checks na ini-issue nila sa amin nung huli is puro nagbabounce na. So, again, dito na 1 year ago to. So, this was in 2023, probably. Check ba yun? So, yeah, August 14, 2023. So, good thing for this Redditor na nabalik yung capital nila. Pero kumbaga parang nagsayang lang sila ng oras and opportunity cost din yun. Kasi kung for example, ilang taon sila nag-invest dito sa Dermacare, then nabalik lang yung capital nila. Opportunity cost yun kasi pwede mong ilagay yun sa ibang investment vehicle. Sabihin natin, nilagay mo lang sa C-Bank or sa isang digital bank. Then nag-earn na yun yung pera na yun ng around 4% per year. Kung dito, binalik lang, for example, yung in-invest mo, 500k. Binalik lang sa yung 500k. I mean, you have to be thankful for that. But kung nilagay mo sa ibang investment vehicle, it probably grew dun sa span na naka-invest yung pera nila dito sa scam na to. So, you have to be very careful where you put your money. Then ito, another 1-2 years ago. So, this was July 18, 2022. Beyond Skincare Solutions. Hi guys, we're looking to put an investment in a company named Beyond Skincare Solutions. The terms is simple. We will invest 100k on the company and then we will receive a monthly dividend of 4k per month. After 2 years, the contract will expire and the company will return the initial investment of 100k. There will also be perks when availing their services once you're an investor. Does anyone hear about the company? We're checking SEC and DTI website to research about the company, but we don't know how to get the list of companies registered to those government entities. Quite an attractive offer, almost doubling your money in 2 years. Again, red flag agad yun. Almost doubling your money in 2 years. Yes, it's possible. For example, kung nagtitrade ka, or kung nakabili ka, for example, ng Bitcoin noong 2022, in 2 years, more than nag-double yung pera mo. But yung mga ganitong like schemes na, ay, kukunin ko sa inyo yung pera, and then, I promise na, dodoblehin ko yung pera nyo in 2 years. Red flag. So, ito. So, mga sensible na Redditors yung sumasagot. Here we go again. Short answer, avoid. Long answer, avoid with a 10-foot pole. TLDR, avoid. So, again, as we gain experience sa investing game, dito sa investing field, kailangan nating maging aware. And again, simple due diligence lang will do the trick. Masaspot mo agad kung scam yung isang bagay. Kung gagawin mo yung homework mo, and again, if you will do your own due diligence. And lastly, seeking advice, 3% monthly return on a 1-year locked investment. Worth it. So, apparently, dermacare din ito, but hindi siya na-specify dito. So, sinasabi niya na may SEC registration itong investment opportunity na ito. Pero sinabi din dito nung isang Redditor, a sensible Redditor, first SEC registration means nothing. Kasi nga, kailangan ng secondary license na itong mga companies na to or mga businesses na to para mapag-offer sila ng investment product sa public. So, kahit pa sabihin natin na merong, amendment or certificate of incorporation, kung kahit ano pang document yung ipakita nila, kung wala sila ng secondary license, and mahirap actually makuha yung secondary license na yun. Kasi ang dami mong kailangang isubmit sa SEC. And every quarter, magsasubmit ka ng financials mo. And i-update mo doon kung may nagbago ba sa leadership ng business nyo. And so, 4 times a year yun. And then eventually, magre-report ka ulit. Kasi kailangan mong i-report sa SEC yung annual report naman or annual financials ng business. So, kaya walang mapakita tong mga ganitong scam kasi they won't do that. Madali naman mag-incorporate ng isang business sa SEC. And hindi rin naman ganun kalaking fee na kailangang bayaran. So, madali nilang nakukuha yun. And lalo na yung pinakamadali is yung DTI. So, ang daming nagde-defend, for example, sa mga scams. DTI registered naman yan. So, and SEC registered. But again, they are not allowed to offer investments or securities sa public. So, it's as simple as that. And mas okay na mag-stick ka na lang doon sa mga traditional investment vehicles. You have bonds, you have treasury bills, you have money market funds, you have stocks, you have preferred stocks, merong REITs, merong digital banks na decent na rin yung binibigay sa'yo na interest per year. And if you want to be more risky, you can explore crypto. Pero syempre, kailangan i-limit mo lang dun sa, for example, sabihin natin, yung capital mo is 20,000 pesos. Probably you can invest or put in 2,000 pesos or 1,000 pesos sa crypto every month. So, yung 18K is napupunta sa, for example, sa MP2 savings or sa stocks. So, it's really up to you. But again, just to be on the safe side, dapat meron kayong mga ganong rules kung saan nyo i-allot yung capital nyo. And para updated kayo sa mga advisories ng SEC, punta lang kayo sa website nila. Sobrang dali lang. Scroll down kayo ng konti, makita nyo dito yung notices, and click nyo yung advisories. And click on see more. Makita mo na dito lahat ng mga fina-flag nila na scams. So dati tinignan natin dito, 'di ba? Binan or aalis na sa Philippine market yung eToro. So makita niyo dito yung kanilang advisory about eToro, and same thing sa XM. I'm not sure, hindi ko pa nababalitaan kung ano bang gagawin ng XM, but probably they will just ignore this. Kasi marami naman silang ibang like countries na market, and probably mas malaki pa dun yung kinikita nila. So they will just shrug it off. Same thing sa sa eToro, but sila mas like proper yung exit. I'm not sure about XM kasi hindi ko rin naman sila ginamit. And before nga na-mention ko sa inyo na nag-offer sila ng partnership with me, with the channel, but I declined. Kasi I don't really trade. Hindi ako day trader, hindi ako nag-trade ng kahit ano. And yung focus nila is Forex. So, hindi ako nagda-double dun sa Forex. So, that's why I declined. And yan. Ito yung mga latest. And makikita nyo rin dito, yung Dermacare. Pag pumunta kayo sa 2019, meron dalawa dito. Ba't wala? So, I'm probably in the wrong one. Oh, no. I think, was it 2022? Oh, ito pala. 2023 pala. Sorry. Yung 2019 pala is itong susunod ko ipapakita sa inyo. So, Dermacare. Last year lang pala. My bad. So, ito. Broiler Entrepreneurship AgriVentures Incorporated. So, sinasabi nila, FYI, secondary license allowed po ang company na mag-solicit ng investments from the public. Unlimited number of investors for any amount po. Company is required to pay 1 billion for surety bond. I'm not sure what that is. At 50 million processing sa Bangko Sentral kapag may secondary license ang isang company under na po siya sa AMLA. Ang SEC registration po nila is hindi na holdings kundi investment fund na. What a waste of money when we don't even sell stocks and shares. So that's why wala daw silang secondary license. So ito, yung number 2, secondary purpose. Allowed po ang company mag-solicit ng investments from the public, maximum of 19 investors only. For broiler po, ang meron tayo is secondary purpose lang. Yung 19 investors po na yan would fall under our core leaders. And then, each core leaders have their own network. Sounds familiar, right? Under one core leader, all investments from his network are collectively remitted sa same office ng broiler under the core leader's name. So, kumbaga, merong mga downline yung kanilang primary or core leaders or core investors. Only the core leaders are legally recognized as investors of the company. Kaya holdings pa ang SEC registration natin because we do not have a secondary license kundi secondary purpose pala. And ito yung kanilang business model or whatever you call it. Capital mo 500 after 60 days. Gawin natin 1,000 yan. Less 12%. Probably, I'm not sure what that is. I think mali din yung pag-charge nila kung tax ba to. I'm not sure kung ano yun. But probably commission nila yun. Quote unquote. Yung less 12%. Hindi naka-specify dito. Net income mo is 880. Mali rin yung competition sa net income. 330 lang dapat. Diba? Sa'yo yung 500 eh. What? I mean, yung mga ganitong klaseng like graphic or graphics or image. I mean, sometimes it's funny. Pero syempre, hindi naman lahat kasi is sophisticated na when it comes to investing. So you need to start somewhere and hopefully hindi dito sa mga scams na to kayo magsa-start. Just go for stocks, ETFs, crypto. It's as simple as that. So ito, pangita na. Net income 880. What? Bakit? So unless yung capital mo is on top pa dito sa 1,000 na kikitain. So sabihin natin na 1,000 yung kinita ng 500 mo. I mean, that's tripling your money. That's 200%. Hindi lang 100%. But again, ito, sobrang bullshit nitong after 60 days, dodoble na yung pera. Saan mo pupulutin yun? Like, walang ganitong klaseng business model. Kasi lahat ng mga businesses, kahit pa yung margin nila, for example, yung cost of goods sold is like, sabihin natin, 5 pesos lang. Tapos binibenta mo yung product mo ng 20. So that's 300%, di ba? So 15 pesos yung kinita mo dun sa 5 pesos mo na capital or like cost of goods sold. Pero ang dami mong ibang babayaran, di ba? So may mga iba kang expenses, hindi lang naman yung COGS yung expense mo. So for example, ano bang magandang example? So may mga employees ka, babayaran mo yung mga employees na yun, di ba? So hindi lang naman yung kumbaga puhunan mo, yung basis sa kikitain mo. So makita mo rin yan pagka nagre-review ka ng mga financials ng mga big businesses na nakalist sa PSCI or sa PSE. So makita mo doon na meron silang, for example, gross profit margin. So may mga matataas yan like Globe, GMA or PLDT na around 50-40% yung gross profit margin. Pero pagka dumating na tayo sa net income margin, naglalaro na lang to around 10-20%. Kasi nga may mga ibang binabayaran. So, merong gross profit and merong, net. And ito, sobrang unrealistic and I think medyo mali pa yung kanilang computation. Kasi, hindi nila kinoconsider yung capital as, as the starting point. So, dito, katulad ito, di ba, yung 10K after 60 days. And again, di naman tayo sure kung 10K ba yung kikitain mo or yung 5K mo is magiging 10K lang. Kasi kung 10K yung kikitain ng 5K mo, magiging 15K yun. So, probably tama yung net income na 8,800. But again, don't try to invest sa mga ganitong scams. Kahit pa mauna kayo. I mean, magiging zero-sum game yung investing, which is positive sum naman talaga. Dapat yung investing. If you're in the right vehicle and if you're in the right, game. Pagka ganito mga Ponzi scheme, it's always going to be a zero-sum game. Kasi laging may matatalo. Lalo na kapag nahuli ka na. So probably just a few will recover their capital and kikita. But that is at the expense of other people and ayaw natin nun. Ito, meron na ngang advisory yung SEC back in September 16, 2019 about Broilerpreneur Corporation and Super Livestock Holdings Incorporated. So yan. Again, same thing doon sa sinasabi kay Neri Naig, mga salesmen, brokers, dealers, or agents. But sa kanya, specifically doon sa Dermacare, merong mga promoters, may mga abettors, may mga endorsers, no? So lahat yun, kumbaga parang sinasakop. Kasi nga, may mga ganitong artista or public figure na involve sa scam. So that's why, naging broader yung mga pwedeng maparusahan. And then ito yung kailangan mo i-submit sa SEC para makapag-obtain ka ng secondary license. And this is just one of the document. Ito yung magsa-start kumbaga. And then after that, again, yung katulad ng sinabi ko earlier, na kailangan mo mag-report ng board nyo, board of directors, ng mga leaders, kung may mga pagbabago ba, and yung quarterly financials and annual financials. So maraming forms na kailangan i-submit. And yung actual security, kailangan din i-register sa SEC if nagbebenta ka ba talaga ng security. Pero yun. Just, again, be more careful. Be aware of the red flags. Pag nakita kayo ng red flag, huwag nyo nang i-pursue yung scam investment na yun. Kasi again, pwede kang makaswerte na nauna ka dun sa scam investment, mabalik yung capital mo and kumita ka, but that is at the expense of other investors na niloloko ng mga nagawa ng Ponzi scheme na yun. And just frequently check yung mga advisories ng SEC kasi lagi nyo naman makikita yun, or probably follow nyo yung page invest sa Reddit para lang ma-update kayo and matutunan nyo how to spot itong mga ganitong klaseng scams. Kasi pag nagkaroon kayo ng experience sa investing, madali nyo na makikita kasi alam nyo kung ano yung possible or ano yung mga realistic returns ng market. Pag naglalaro ka na ng matagal sa stock, sa crypto, alam mo na yung mga, yung i-expect mo na returns. Yes, sobrang magva-vary yung returns every year. Kasi hindi mo naman alam kung ano mangyayari, di ba? Nung 2022 ba, alam natin na magda-dump ng ganong kababa yung Bitcoin, yung cryptoverse? No. So yung mga nangyari lang na unfortunate events, for example, yung sa FTX, di ba? So that's why sobrang bumagsak yung crypto at that time. And then sunod-sunod yun yung sa Binance, and nakasuhan si CZ, 'di ba, ng US SEC. And then eventually the following year nagkaroon ng magandang recovery yung Bitcoin 2023, and then sobrang umakyat nitong 2024, nag all-time high earlier this year nung March, and then eventually ngayon nag all-time high ulit. Gusto rin niyang i-hit yung 100k before the year ends. Nag 99,500 na, I believe, the couple of days ago. So yeah, pagka again, when you're gaining experience sa investing, malalaman nyo kung ano yung like realistic and unrealistic gains. And laging merong uncertainty sa returns mo. Kasi nga, hindi mo alam, wala kang crystal ball. Hindi mo alam kung aakyat ba yung isang particular asset or kung babagsak siya. Kung ma-outperform ba ng Ethereum yung Bitcoin in like 3 months, in a quarter. Or kung mas okay ba mag-invest sa PSCI ngayon or mas okay ba sa S&P 500. You don't know. So yung mga ganitong scams, lagi na pinapromise na fixed yung income or yung interest na makukuha mo. Pagka narinig mo yun, just run. Huwag mo na entertain yung mga nag-e-entice sa'yo na mag-invest sa ganitong klaseng investments. And please do not promote it sa family members mo. Kasi maging problema pa yun. Like, separate na problema. That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Sana may natutunan kayo. Thank you for watching and listening. I will see you on the next episode. Always remember, be peso smart.